Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 here on GM Games. My name is Aaron, and let's get the self-promotion out of the way first. If you guys could, please drop a subscribe and a like for the GM Games. Drop a like on this video, drop a subscribe on the GM Games YouTube channel. Head over to their Discord, join their Discord. A lot of good information on there, a lot of Let's Play links if you are into this sports simulation, and why would you be here if you weren't into sports simulation? You can also head over to my channel at Around the World Sports. Drop me a subscribe over there as well. I would appreciate it. That out of the way, let's get to some baseball. We are in the middle of year 7, right? Year 7? I mean, I guess it should be easy for me. We're in 2027. We started in 2021. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Year 7. We're coming off our most successful season. We were 104 and 58 a year ago. This season has been bizarre. If you missed the live stream on Sunday night, it has been really weird. If you just look at our month over month, we were 17 and 11 in April, 12 and 17 in May, 21 and 4 in June, and we are 5 and 6 here in July. So that puts us at 55 and 38, the third best record in the National League, also the third best record in the National League West. 6 games behind the Padres, 13 behind the 68 and 25 Los Angeles Dodgers, who we will be playing here shortly, I believe. Yeah, we got 3 games against the Reds and then 3 games against the Dodgers, so those are coming up. And when I ended the live stream on Sunday, the thing that I said I wanted to do, before we get started here was sort of shuffle our lineup around a little bit. Right now we have Luke Lido batting 4th with his 96i. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we are going to clear our lineups, and we are going to reset. So against lefties, against righties, we're going to bat Luke Lido leadoff. We are going to put Willie Castro in the number 2 hole. We are going to bat. We're going to leave Jose Ramirez in the 3 spot, and we're going to make Sam Wesniak the number 4 hitter. And then we need an RBI guy behind him. Or maybe we do it, I think we do it like this. We go Lido, Castro, Wesniak, Ramirez. That way we've got 2 great eye guys on in front of Jose Ramirez who could potentially drive in 150 runs. So Lido, Castro, Wesniak, Ramirez. We're going to bat Drew Jones in the 5 hole. We're going to move him up in the lineup some. We're going to make Zach Veen our number 6 hitter. Romo will be our... Actually, I think we're going to go Romo then Veen because Romo's actually been better than Veen this year. And then Gabriel Arias will be our number 8 hitter. Defensively, I think we're fine here. We're going to get Stewart in once a week there. Stewart in every 6th game here. So basically, he's going to play a couple times a week. We got Kiner Falefa at short. Our outfield will be Stewart in left and right, and then B will be the center fielder. We may have some decisions to make in left field because Zach Veen just has not been good this year. Against lefties, we're going to leave Lido. His eye drops down to a 92. And I think I think the only change I want to make here is Zach Veen's not going to play against lefties. It comes down to whether or not we want Jonathan India in left field against lefties or Sal Stewart. And I think Sal Stewart is the better hitter right now. So we're going to put Sal Stewart in left against lefties. India is going to back up there every 3rd game. And in right field, I guess Veen, yeah. This gets Sal Stewart some at-bats. It allows him to sort of develop some additional positions and make him more valuable to us as we kind of go down the road because we have Jose Ramirez signed for 2 more years beyond this. So Stewart likely isn't to start at 3rd base anytime soon. So the more playing time we can get him in other positions, the better. Kind of like what we did with Lido last year. We put him in left, we put him in right. He's started to develop some outfield ratings as well. So he's become... I mean, he's never going to be a great defender, but he's passable now at 4 different positions, so it gives us the ability to play him wherever we need him. I was looking at the trade block. There's not a whole lot there right now. At least that we would need. I mean, I could see us upgrading in left field, but if we're going to upgrade in left, I want to truly upgrade. I want to get somebody who is really, even if it's just a 1 year. I mean, Marcelo Zuna against lefties is really, really good. Against righties, he's meh. You know, that may be the other side of the platoon with Zach Veen. But the issue with this, is that if I pick somebody up, I mean, B is a Rule 5 guy, and I'm trying to get through the year with him because I want him in my system with that batting profile. We're not going to send Sal Stewart down. Connor Falefa and India are both kind of locked in as backups. I mean, we could cut a pitcher, but, you know, we spent an hour trying to sort through that on the live stream. So if we're going to make a move, I think it's going to include someone like Zach Veen. He just, you know, I mean, I don't want to say he's fallen off a cliff, and I want to give him time to bounce back. I mean, he had 3 just fantastic years in a row for us. I'd hate to think at age 25 he's washed up, but we will see what happens. So let's start to get to some simming here. I got to remember that July 31st is here. Usually I'm coming on at the beginning of July, so I've got some time to sort of prepare. I don't have a lot of time now, so we'll probably sim ahead a week, see where we stand, and then figure out if there are any trades that need to be made. So let's start the simming here. Game 1 at Cincinnati. It's a 4-3 win in 10. So Ramirez 3 hits and an RBI. Lido goes 0 for 4 in the leadoff spot. Romo has a couple more hits. Ramirez, Veen, and Stewart all homer. Denny pitches 6 innings, gives up 2 unearned runs. Futrell picks up the win. Win gets the save. Futrell was one of the players we picked up from Minnesota in that big trade on July 1st, where we sent Isaac Pacheco, Joe Adell, Miguel Andujar, Carlos Ameli, and Devin Rycroft to the Twins, getting Tanner Brubacher, Devin Futrell, Joey Camarada, and Chris Haas. Haas is currently in AAA. But we picked up 3 pretty good pitchers in return, and that sort of helped spur us, I guess, into June. All right, Game 2 against Cincinnati is our 3rd straight win, a 7-5 victory. Glasnow picks up the win. He goes to 7-1. Bullpen does pretty well. A lot of short outings there for sure, but we get the job done. Wesniak homers twice. Ramirez homers 5 RBIs for Sam Wesniak. 3 hits for Jose Ramirez. Lido 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Cool. All right. So we've won 3 in a row. We are 11 games out of first place. We take on Cincinnati. The final game of the 3-game set here is a 6-4 win. So we sweep the Cardinals, or sweep the Reds when we win our 4th game in a row. Drew Jones, 2 for 4. It looks like he hit a home run. Yep, Jones homers. India picks up a couple RBIs, getting the start there. Jack Leiter goes 6 1/3. Bello picks up the win. Johnson with the save. We're 10 games out, so that was a good run. We just picked up 3 games in. I mean, of course, now we're going to be playing. Cincinnati, or we're going to be playing the Dodgers now. And we could easily just lose all 3 here, but. All right, so Jim Pinnell was our number 1 pick. He is going to start in Double-A. 21 years old. I mean, no reason for him not to start in Double-A. Carson Messina, he was our number 2 pick. He's going to start in High A ball. We are going to disable his promotion. Matthew Champion, we need to make him a bat because he's terrible as a pitcher. I guess third base is as good as anything. Set position, third base. All right, so we got a big series here coming up against the Dodgers. We're still 4 games behind the Padres. We are 10 games behind the Dodgers. It looked like they've lost a few games in a row here, so an opportunity for us to hopefully make up a little bit more ground as we've got Guess, Denny, and maybe Brubacher? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's sim the first game and see what happens. We win. We win 18-4. That's what you like to see. Luke Lido, 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. Willie Castro, 4 for 5 with 4 runs knocked in. Wesniak knocks in 2. Romo has 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Arias has 3 hits. Ben Guess is hitting .417 on the season. He picks up the win, going 5 2/3 as we hammer the Dodgers here in Game 1. And I want to look at guesses. I mean, his hitting ratings aren't that good, but I will take 5 for 4. I mean, he hit 281 last year. And this year he's 5 for 12 with a home run and 4 runs knocked in. So good start to the series here against the Dodgers. We've won 5 in a row. Can we make it 6? No. Oh, and we lose Reed Detmers for 4 weeks. Okay. So we lose this one 5-2. Brubacher goes 6, gives up 4 runs. Camarado gives up a run. Okay. Well, we're 1-4-2 against Los Angeles here. And who do we call up? I mean, Horn and Sademan Parker are both doing really, really well in AAA right now. I mean, they both deserve to be in the bigs. I mean, look at Horn, 6-0. I think we call up. I think we're going to just hold tight, and I think we're going to call up Adonis Medina here, and we'll stick Medina in as a long reliever. All right, so Game 3 against the Dodgers is a Sunday, and we lose again. We lose 5-2 on back-to-back games, so that's really disappointing. Walker Buehler improves to 10-0 on the year. Denny picks up the loss, drops to 8-4. Yeah, it's disappointing. With the way that the month started and the way that first game went, I was excited. So we're still 4 games behind the Padres. Padres lost their last 2 as well, so we didn't lose any ground there. We're 4 games up in the wild card over the Braves and the Marlins, and we are 11 games back of the Dodgers. So let's get through the series against Arizona, and then we will sort of reflect and see if we need to make any last-minute trade deadline moves. I don't suspect we are, although, I mean, again, replacing Veen might be a thing if he's still not hitting here in a few days. So let's see Game 1 against Arizona. 3-0 win. Tyler Glasnow locked in. 7 shutout innings for Glasnow. He improves to 8-1 on the year. RBIs from Wozniak and Veen, who's got that average up to 230, so it's climbing. It's climbing. How's he? I mean, he's trending the right direction, right? 192, 210, 300, 281. Yeah, so June and July, he's been better. Power's still not there. I mean, he's only hit 5 home runs in the last 2 months, but he's coming along. He's coming along. So game number 2 here against the D-backs. It's a 5-1 win, so that's 5-7-2 in our last 9. Jack Leiter pitches really well. Ramirez, 3 hits and an RBI. Veen drives in 2 more. Is he hitting a home run? He does. Veen and Ramirez both homer. Lido gets on base 4 times. Leiter improves to 6-7. Gets that ERA under 4, which I like to see. And can we get the sweep here against the Diamondbacks? Important game. You want to sweep teams like this. No, we lose to the Diamondbacks, who are terrible. 38-64. That is a bummer. Ben Guest gives up 5-5. And Castro homers, Ramirez homers. Jose Ramirez has hit home runs in 3 of his last 5. He's on pace for 56 home runs. Same with Wozniak. Okay. All right. So we are 61-41. We're 10 games out of first place. And again, I would love Christian Pash out for 5 to 6 weeks. Bellinger out for 3 weeks. That's good news for us. Leo Chase. Great. He's terrible. I'll let him be terrible. So we're 3 games behind San Diego, now 10 games behind the Dodgers. We have made some headway over the last 10 games. We've picked up 3 games on the Dodgers and 4 games on the Padres in the last 10. We have a 5-game lead for that second wild card spot. So things are looking better. They're absolutely looking better. They're still not looking great. I mean, you know, I still would like to be in that number 2 spot so we can at least get a home game for that that playoff game, but you know, we may not have that option. So let's go back and look at the trading block. Dominic Smith. And we could just stick Dominic Smith in left field. Anthony Rendon is hurt for 3 to 4 months. He's done for the year. Josh Jung. He's not having a bad season. Or do we just ride it out? I mean, we made the big trade at the beginning of June. I mean, I'm thinking we just sort of ride it out here. I mean, we've got some hot hitters. We've got some players that are overperforming what we expected out of them, which covers for the players who aren't performing, like Veen, who's still on pace for 22 home runs, 90 RBIs. So I think we just leave Zach Veen at the bottom of the lineup and just sort of deal with it. Our pitching staff, I mean, we've got some ratings that aren't great. Camarada, Futrell, Tyler Johnson, all ERAs of over 4. But other than that, Lido, Medina, Applegate, Bello, Patino, Mason Wynn have all been fine. I mean, we made Louis Patino a stopper, and he's been really good as a reliever. Yeah, 18 games, 21 innings, 2-0 with a 2. I mean, he was good as a starter too, but he's been really, really good as a reliever for us. Are there any pitchers on the trading block that I have to have? Fairbanks is pretty good. Ground ball pitcher. It's a free agent after this year. What would it take to get someone like Fairbanks? Not much. Okay. I mean, we could trade him straight up for Tyler Johnson, who or do we move him for someone like Detmers, who we're not going to re-sign after this year? Yeah, he wants $13 million. So I think we do something like this. We move him for Detmers. We get a better pitcher now, because that means we move Medina back down to the minors, and Detmers is not going to re-sign with us anyway. So let's pull the trigger there. And we'll come in here, and we will DFA Medina yet again. And we will come here, and we will bring Fairbanks in, and we will make him a middle reliever. We're going to go back to normal usage. We will use him more often. Actually, I think we're going to make him a setup guy. We're going to make Johnson middle relief. And we will bring in Fairbanks 7th or later. So what does that look like? Wynn, Patino, Futrell, Fairbanks, Johnson, Bello, Camarada, Lido, and Applegate. Yeah, okay. I'm good with that. All right, let's get through the end of July here and see how we stack up. 3-1 victory. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this episode. We may just get to the end of August, and then the live stream on Sunday will be the last month of the season and the postseason, presumably. So we win. Connor Fillet for 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Jonathan India had a pinch hit single. Brubacher picks up the win. That's his best start for us in a while. 5 innings of shutout baseball. Fairbanks, Futrell, and Wynn come in and lock it down. Game 2. It's a 5-2 win. That leads down to 9. Lido 2 hits. Drew Jones goes 4 for 4. Langley no hits but knocks in 2. Willie Castro seen that average drop under 300, but he does hit his 14th home run of the season. Denny picks up the win. Fairbanks with another shutout inning. Patino pitches 2 innings. So cool. We win 2 in a row against St. Louis. Can we pick up the sweep? We do. We win 7-6 and 12. So that's a big win. We're down 6-0 after 3 innings. Glasnow and Applegate aren't able to get it done, but the rest of the bullpen was outstanding. That's 9 2/3 innings of 2-hit baseball out of our bullpen. So 9 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 15 strikeouts out of our bullpen. Veen homers, Romo homers. So the bullpen picks us up there. You like to see that. Arias 2 hits and an RBI. Romo drove in 2. Veen drove in 3. Average back down under 230, but he's got 15 home runs and 58 knocked in now. All right, 3 at Philly. Game 1 against Philadelphia. Another win. So that's 4, 5, 6 of our last 7. and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 and 3 in our last 14. Jack Leiter pitches well. Wozniak, 2 hits. Looks like he homers. Drew Romo homers. He's got 16 home runs on the year. He's having a really nice season. Leiter improves to 7 and 7, pitching 8 shutout innings. Way to go, Jack. All right, game number 2 at Philadelphia is another win, 7-2. Lido, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Kiner Falefa had 2 hits and drove in a run. Wozniak, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a home run. Ramirez, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Drew Jones, 2 more hits. India picks up a home run, is 3rd with us. It's 18th on the season. Ben Guest picks up the win, 4 and 2. Fairbanks continues to pitch well. Hang on just a sec, guys. You can sit here with me while I do this. I'm going to do a bit of work on the back end while while you guys wait. Cool. All right. So yeah, we continue to play well. Kiner Falefa, I'm strongly considering re-signing him as our starting either second baseman or shortstop next season. I don't know that I want to bring back Gabriel Arias. His ARB number's up to like 8 million, and while he's still playing really, really good defensively, I don't know that we can afford it. Money isn't. I guess it all depends on how we do this postseason. If we have a good postseason and we get some additional money from ownership, then maybe, but we'll have to see. Can we get the sweep over the Phillies? Right now, that's my focus. Sweeping the Phillies. No, we lose 4-0. We get shut out. Brubacher gives up 2 earned and 6. Just as I say, I'm going to bring in Kiner Falefa to bring him back to play. He commits an error that leads to 2 unearned runs. All right, so we're 10 games out of the NL West lead. We are 2 games behind the Padres. We were within 1, but they won today or yesterday, and we lost. So final 3 games of the month at home against the Mets. Oops. First game is a 3-2 victory. We score a run in the bottom of the 7th to pick up the win. Denny goes 5 1/3. Camerata. Fairbanks has pitched 4 games, 2 2/3, hasn't given up a run. Patino comes in, gets the hold. Wynn gets the save. 2 hits for Lido and Castro at the top of the order. So that seems to be working a little bit. Game 2 against the Mets is a 13-9 win. Medina goes to AAA. We give up 5 in the 7th, so that means our starting pitcher did pretty well. Yeah, Glasnow pitched okay, well enough to get the win. I mean, that's really all that matters. 4 runs in 5 2/3. Applegate struggled. And again, Carson Applegate, if I had my druthers, would be in AAA this year. But because he's a Rule 5 guy, I want to keep him on the roster all year. Next year, we can send him to AAA to work on his bat. But for now, he's kind of that last man out of the bullpen. Wozniak homers twice. Veen homers. Ramirez homers. We could potentially have 2 players with 50 home runs on our roster here when the season's all said and done. Zach Veen hits his 16th. And we look for the sweep in the final game of the month. Let's see how that one goes. We're 68-42. Can we win? Nope. We dropped the final game of the series 3-1. So we are 68-43 through June. Leiter gets the loss, but doesn't pitch terribly. Only gives up 3 hits and 5. All right, so where are we? We're tied. We are tied with the Padres, guys. We are tied with the Padres for second place in the NL West. This is huge because if we can finish second, at least we get a home game in the postseason, which is what I'm shooting for here. So my phone just beeps, and I'm making a ton of background noise. I'm sorry. All right, let's take a quick look at our team stats. Jim Denny leading the way, 3.5 WAR. He's 9-4, having just a great rookie season. Only 24 years old. Future is bright there. Tanner Brubaker's been up and down since coming over to us. I mean, he's been giving us basically 6 innings in every start. Just comes down to whether or not he gives up 2 runs or 4. 63 1/3 innings, 1.6 WAR in 11 starts. I mean, hasn't been terrible. I mean, he just hasn't been ace, level. Leiter's been better. He's gotten better as the year has gone on. You can see April and May put up an ERA of over 5, but June and July 5 and 3 with an ERA of 2.45, somewhere right in there, so 2.5. He's been really good the last 2 months. Glasnow has been Glasnow. He just keeps plugging away. He's on pace to be 13-1 this year. Some injuries this season have cost him a little bit, but he has been worth every single penny of this contract that we paid him. 5 years, $60 million, and we have him locked up next year at 12. Louis Patino's likely gone at the end of this season. He's got an $11 million option. Tampa's eating 65% of it, so we're only paying him like $3 million or something like that. He's probably going to opt out. If he doesn't, that's fine. We'll continue to use him as a stopper / starting pitcher. Ben Guess has come back after being out for quite some time. He was out for almost a year and has pitched really well in 8 starts. Good for 1.5 WAR. Mason Wynn has been pretty good since we made him our closer. He's picked up 12 saves, struck out 56 in 36 innings. Fairbanks hasn't pitched much, but hasn't given up a run yet in 5 games. Camerata has put up a 3.8 since coming over from Minnesota, striking out 53 in 39 innings. Futrell, a 3.6. He's actually been better since being traded from Minnesota, 22 strikeouts in 15 innings. Tyler Johnson, Applegate, Lido, and Bello have all been average, although Bello was better than average is better than what we were getting out of you know what? And if I ever make enough money to be a full-time streamer, the first thing I'm going to do is invest in some oil so that I can unsqueak my chair. But at any rate, Bello has absolutely been better than Jason Foley, who we traded to get Bello. Bello had put up a 12.38 ERA. He was a -7 win player in 19 appearances. And Bello's been better. He's cheap, he's younger, and he's been better this year. So I consider that a victory. Luke Lido and Carson Applegate, again, they are the last 2 guys in our bullpen. Applegate's pitched a ton. I don't want him pitching that much. He's pitched in 41 games. Let's get rid of this and see if that changes anything. Yeah, he's pitched a ton. I don't want him pitching that much as I change Lido and not Applegate. We'll make him the emergency starting pitcher. Yeah, Applegate's pitched a lot more than I would have liked him to. Offensively, things just continue to click. Jose Ramirez already good for 6 WAR in 107 games. Again, another contract that was worth every single penny that we paid. And we paid a lot. 6 years, $162 million. Basically $27 million a year. So another 2 years. That second year's an option. If he keeps hitting like this, I hope he stays. I hope he opts in. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But we got him for another 1.5 years anyway. Sam Wozniak continues to play really well. And this was another trade that we wouldn't be where we were if we hadn't made this trade. We offered Oswald Peraza up in a deal, and at the time, Sam Wozniak was the #1 prospect in baseball. Seattle wanted it. Seattle wanted Peraza. They gave us Wozniak in return, and he's only put up 15 WAR in 2.5 seasons. So Wozniak is a monster at first base. Willie Castro. A lot of his WAR is defensively, as he's playing really, really good at second base, but that's fine. I talked about this at the end of the live stream on Sunday. He's locked up to a huge contract, far more than I would like to pay somebody with his skill set and his age. But as long as he keeps performing defensively, and he puts up numbers anywhere close to this, we'll be okay. Luke Lido has been a revelation for us. Initially, he was just going to be a backup at multiple positions, and he's worked his way into the lineup, and he's put up a .961 OPS, 3 WAR as a batter, and he's put up a 2.97 ERA as a pitcher. So he has been Shohei Ohtani light for us. Drew Romo has bounced back nicely after a difficult year last year. The average and the on-base percentage are basically the same, but the slugging is up 60 points. He's on pace for a 4-win season, 23 home runs, elite defense out of your catcher. You can't beat that. Drew Jones has stepped it up as well. He's already got more WAR this year than he had all last year. He's on pace to set career highs in home runs, RBIs, batting average, slugging, blah, 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 everything. So he's gotten better while still playing in elite defensive center field. Jonathan India has done a nice job in a backup role for us. Hasn't played a ton, but he's happy because he's on a winning team. And he's doing pretty well at a few different positions. Gabriel Arias has taken a step down from last year. I mean, he's on pace for only 1.9 WAR, and his defense, while still very, very good, isn't as good as it was last year. Shelan has been great as a backup. We may end up having to move him after this season, though. My guess is he's going to want a fairly substantial pay hike. Kiner Falefa, just doing Kiner Falefa things. 375, 444. Putting up a 117 OPS plus. Defensively, he hasn't been nearly as good as he has been in the past, so that's a little concerning. Sal Stewart, the offense is slow. I mean, he's providing some extra base power, 15 doubles, 6 home runs, but the average is a little light. He's still a plus WAR player, so, by the end of the season, he'll be, hopefully these numbers will develop a little bit more. He'll be okay. Zach Veen, again, just not getting it done this year. Still on pace for 23 home runs and 90 RBIs, but on pace to be less than half a win player this year. And then Chris B, he's atrocious defensively, and yeah, so we're gonna have to do something about center field in the offseason because B will likely be a backup corner outfielder going forward. I just don't have anybody who can play center field right now. So that's where we stand stat-wise. Prospects. Julio Negron is in A-ball, not pitching particularly well, but since he's 21, we're going to leave him there and see if he can work his way through it. Sademon Parker is in AAA right now. He's 3-5 with a 2.93. He's been really good. Hector Quintanilla, International Complex still. Mike Hennon is pitcher we converted to second base. He's got a really nice hitting tool. He's pretty bad defensively, but he can hit. Might be a trade chip given that, he's got a decent hitting tool. Alex Davia is in the International Complex. Chad Horn will be up next season. 8.0244. We're going to have to figure out what to do with him. We are going to have to do something with our log jam at starting pitching. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it's a problem nonetheless. Josh Eichacker was our number 1 pick 2 years ago. Last year, technically, 2026. He's hitting the cover off the ball in A ball, so let's go ahead and call him up to high A. He could be a corner outfielder within the next couple of years. Ian Moeller we picked up in a trade. He may end up as our backup catcher next season. He's in AAA right now. Danny Fisher was our first round pick in 2026. Yeah, I mean, good batting eye, or good batting profile. He's 21 and he's super underdeveloped, so that's concerning. But we'll see how the rest of the year goes for him. That's really about it. No, so we just need to keep right on going here. Oklahoma City followed by the Pirates. Let's see how the first game of August goes. Oh, no, I want to go back. Hang on a second. I wanted to look at this stuff. So player development, we already looked at some of this, but Leiter got a little worse. Guess his control dropped a little bit. Denny got better. Bello got better. Romo, Langlier, Wesniak, Castro all got a little bit worse. Lido gets better. Parker gets better. Horn got a little worse, but that's okay. He's still really good. That's about it. AL Batter of the Month, Gavin Lux of now the Yankees. NL Batter of the Month, Acuna. Pitcher of the Month in the AL is Will Frisch. In the National League, Walker Buehler. AL Rookie of the Month, Cesar Alicea of the White Sox. In the National League, starting pitcher John Dodd. I think he's won it a couple months in a row here. So, yeah. All right, we need to start simming ahead. Game 1 against Oklahoma City. 6-0 loss. I don't even want to bother looking at the box score for that one. Game 2 is we haven't scored a run in 18 innings. Game 3. Wow. Okay. That one hurts. I mean, we're still tied with San Diego as they've lost 6 in a row. But our lead in the wild card is down to 4 games. That sucks. All right, so we take on Pittsburgh now. Let's see how this goes. Can we end our losing streak? We can. We win 5-1. Zach Veen gets the start. Or Zach Veen hits a home run. Glasnow gets the start. Goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run. Bullpen looks pretty good in that one. So that's a nice bounce back game there. Game 2 against Pittsburgh. It's an 8-7 win. So we bounce back from a couple of losses with a couple of nice wins. Wozniak hits his 40 and 41st home runs of the year. He's up to 104 runs knocked in. Stewart and Castro both have 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Leiter goes 5. Doesn't get the win because Camerata comes in and just throws up all over himself. Applegate, Futrell, and Wynn come in and lock it down, though. So we're able to win there. Can we get the sweep over the Pirates? We can. All right, so we lose our first 3 of the month and then win our next 3. So we bounce back nicely. Wozniak, 3 RBIs. Lido, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Arias, 3 hits. Veen has a couple of hits. That's nice to see. Guest picks up the win. Fairbanks continues to be lights out. 7 games, 5 2/3, 2 hits. Hasn't allowed a run. Let's go back and look at the standings. We are in second place now. We are a game ahead of the Padres. That is what you like to see. Can we maintain it, though, as we go to Miami for 3? 6-3 victory. Ramirez goes deep twice, as you can see from the header there. It drives in 5 of our 6 runs. Brubacher goes 7, gives up 3. Patino and Wynn come in and lock it down. We win 4 in a row. Can we make it 5? Let's see. 5 in a row. Let's get our 5th. We do. We win 7-4. All right, and we scored 6 in the 9th to get this one done. So Denny goes 6, gives up 1 run. Fairbanks blows up after 7 great outings. Johnson comes in, strikes out 3 in an inning and a third. Futrell comes in, strikes out the side. Ramirez with a couple of doubles. Jonathan India, 3 runs knocked in. B with 2 runs knocked in. So we bounce back, come from behind. Can we win our 6th straight game here? No, we lose 5-4. But now we're taking on the Cubs, who, if memory serves, are really bad this year. Yep, 42 and 78 are the Cubs. Game 1 against the Cubbies. It's a 7-2 victory. 3 hits for Zach Veen. You like that's what I like to see. Wozniak drives in 3. He's got 111 RBIs in 117 games. He's on pace to knock in almost 150 runs this year. Leiter picks up the win, goes to 8-8. Game 2 against the Cubs. Another win, 10-3 this time. More offense. Drew Romo has 4 RBIs. Wozniak drives in 3 more runs. Ramirez has 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Win goes to Ben Guess. He moves to 6-3. Applegate, Lido, and Bello. Home runs for Wozniak and Ramirez and Wozniak are both over 40 now. Game 3 against the Cubs. Can we get the sweep? We do. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of our last 9. We're 8-1 in our last 9 games. In this one, Shea Langelier comes in and hits a 2-run home run to provide most of the offense. Arias knocks in a run. Brubacher picks up the win. Patino continues to pitch well in a stopper role. Brubacher strikes out 10. So we get a day off, followed by 3 against Milwaukee, who I also think are bad, if I remember correctly. Oh, Milwaukee's in first place. All right, so we got Milwaukee followed by San Diego. So let's see how things go here against the Brewers in Milwaukee. Game 1. It's a 3-1 victory, so 4 in a row and 9 out of 10. Lido 4 for 4 in the leadoff spot. Veen knocks in a couple. Denny pitches 6. Oh, we scored all 3 in the 8th. So Fairbanks pitches. So Fairbanks has had 8 clean outings and 1 where he pooed all over himself. But that's fine. Patino has been just automatic, man, as a reliever. 36 innings, 29 hits, 45 strikeouts, a 1.75 ERA. Mason Wynn gets the save. Game 2 at Milwaukee. Another win. So we come from behind again. We give up 4 in the 3rd, and then we score 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Leiter goes 4, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, doesn't factor in the decision. Applegate, Fairbanks, Futrell, and Wynn. Fairbanks again getting it done. Wynn strikes out the side. Wesniak hits his 43rd home run of the year. Castro, 3 hits, drives, or 3 hits, 2 runs scored. And I need to check something because it seems like I don't want Ramirez sitting down that much. I'd like him playing more, I think. All right, so game 3 against Milwaukee. Can we get the sweep? Win our 6th in a row? No, we lose 3-2 in 10. Oh, and we scored a run in the 10th. So it looks like Mason Wynn. No, Futrell gave it up. Gave up 2 runs in the 10th on a home run to Tauchman, to Mike Tauchman. A pinch hit 2-run home run in the 10th. Okay. So we're 78-48. We are 30 games up. Aaron Judge forced to retire. Hasn't played at all this year. Broken kneecap causes Aaron Judge to retire with 328 home runs. And we are taking on the Padres here, guys. This is it. I don't know. So I don't want to say this is it, and we still have a month and a half to go. But we are a game up on the Padres. We're 8-2 in our last 10. The Padres are 8-2 in their last 10. The Dodgers are 9-1 in their last 10. So we are 8-2 in our last 10 games, and we have lost ground in the NL West. That makes sense. So they've got Keller, of course they do. Keller, Gore, and Yamaoka are starting for them. For us, it is Guess, Denny, and Brubacher, I would imagine. So let's just see how it goes. Game 1 at home against San Diego. It's an 11-7 win. We score 4 in the first. We give up the next 6, but then we come back to get it done. So Guess doesn't make it through 4, but the bullpen gets it done. Applegate, Bello, Johnson, Camerata, and Fairbanks. That's a bit of a disappointment there. That start by Guess, but we get 2 home runs from Romo, 1 from Castro, 6 RBIs for our catcher. All right, game number 2. A 1-0 loss in Colorado. So the only run of the game scored by Robert Hassel III, who homers. Brubacher goes 6 1/3, gives up 10. Bello gets the loss. Gore was dominant. All right, game number 3. So if we win this game, we are 2 games up. If we lose this game, we are tied. Can we beat San Diego in game 3? We do. We win 5-1. That's nice. We take 2 out of 3. We are 2 games up on the Padres now. Lido, 2 hits. Ramirez, 2 hit or hitting an RBI. Langley, 2 hits. Ramirez hits his 41st. Denny pitches 5 innings of 1-run baseball. Camerata, Applegate, Futrell, Bello come in and shut the game down for us. So yeah, we are 2 games up now on the San Diego Padres. I mean, again, we're not gonna win the division, so let's just get that out of our head. But I would consider a step forward this year being, coming in second and getting that home playoff game. Otherwise, it's just stagnant, in my opinion. So, all right. So we're taking on the Washington Nationals, the 62-67 Nats. Game 1 in our nation's capital. It's a 6-5 loss. That's a tough one. Game number 2. It's a 5-2 win, and I'm going to save it real quick. I didn't like what it did right there. Yeah, so we're going to get to the end of the month, and then the live stream on Sunday will be the end of the regular season and the postseason. So that's kind of how we're going to run things here, I think. So we pick up the win. Willie Castro, 3 hits. Sal Stewart, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Glasnow improves to 11-2. Can we take 2 out of 3 against Washington? Win the series. That's all we want to do. Just keep winning series. No, and we lose Devin Futrell for 8 weeks. Oh, Sam Wozniak is also hurt. How long is he out for? Diagnosis pending. That is no good. That is no good. All right, so we're going to bring up Sademon Parker. Yeah, that's no good. Let's see how long he's out for. Hopefully not long, as we take on Atlanta at home. We win 4-3. Still no message on Wozniak. Zach Veen goes 3 for 3 with a home run. Castro hits his 17th. Brubacher pitches well again. Fairbanks pitches well again. He's done a nice job for us. He's only given up runs in 2 outings so far. Game number 2 against the Braves. It's a 7-5 win. Still no. Wozniak's back in the lineup, so I guess he's okay. He comes back and he promptly hits his 45th, or I guess doesn't promptly hit his 45th home run. He had already hit his 45th home run. But has 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Stewart drives in a pair. Romo drives in a pair. Denny improves to 11-5 as a rookie. In game 3 against Atlanta is, can we get the sweep? Yep, 7-4. So where are we this month? 16-8. Yeah, it felt like we were playing well. I mean, we had that big stretch at the beginning of the month, but Wozniak 4 for 4. Jose Ramirez, a tough game, 0 for 5 with 7 runners left on base. Wozniak goes 4 for 4. Arias hits a grand slam. Yep, Arias hits a grand slam. Langlier hits a home run. Leiter improves to 9-9. So we've got today off, and then we have a 3-game set against San Francisco, followed by 1 game against Cincinnati, and that'll be the end of the month. We'll recap everything, and we'll call it not a short episode. I mean, I'll be going for almost an hour, but yeah. So game 1 against San Francisco, 4-3 loss. Game 2 against San Francisco, an 8-0 win. Who started here? Jose Ramirez picks up his 2,000th hit in this game. Was it a home run? No, it wasn't. It was just a single. But he singled, drove in a run. Wozniak 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. He's on pace now for 149 RBIs on the year. He homered. Gabriel Arias doubled. Drove in 2. Ben Guest goes 7 2/3 shutout innings, striking out 10. Big game for us there. And the final game against San Francisco is a 3-2 loss. All right, so where are we on the month? We are 17-10. I'd love to end this month 18-10. Can we get a win against Cincinnati and end the month 18-10? We do. We win 5-2 in the final game of this episode. Luke Lido 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Castro had 2 hits. Lido doubled. Wozniak hits another home run, 48. Castro hits his 18th. Denny picks up his 12th win. Fairbanks and Patino continue to get it done. Louis Patino, man. 1.57 ERA in 36 games as a reliever. He's put up almost as many WAR in fewer innings as a reliever as he did as a starter. He has been lights out. All right, so let's player development. Some up, some down. I mean, that's what you get with the 1-100 rating. So you can't freak out too much if you see a bunch of minuses, because it could literally only be a 1% drop. Ramirez the numbers are starting to dip here a little bit. This was always above 70. This was at 100. But I mean, look at his stats. I think his defense is going to become a problem before the offense does. But that's fine. You know, we've got Sal Stewart that we can always slide in defensively, who's much better defensively. Carter Smith, yeah, he's fallen down the list here. Jim Pinnell, our number 1 pick, is not hitting all that well in Double A, but I'm going to leave him there. He seems to have actually gotten better, which is great. So we'll just let him continue to develop. We picked up Jordan Walker in a trade for Thibaut Mercardier, who hasn't been pitching well for Tampa. He's a little bit old. He's 25, but he's got some pop in his bat, and he's hitting really, really well in Double A right now. So we'll call him up to Triple A. We'll let him finish the season at Triple A, I guess. Julio Negron has gotten a little bit better in A-ball. Still not great, but we're going to continue to let him pitch down there and figure it out. Fisher's getting on base. He's not really hitting. He's only hitting 250, but he's getting on base at a pretty crazy clip. AL Batter of the Month, the first baseman, Juan Soto of the Houston Astros. Wozniak wins the Batter of the Month in August. He's on pace for 56 home runs, 148 RBIs, and a 7.7 WAR. Mike Vassell wins the Pitcher of the Month in the AL. Kumar Rocker in the NL. Alicea and Jeff Booth win the Rookie of the Month in the National League. We are 1 game ahead of the San Diego Padres. We are 16 games behind the 102 and 37 Los Angeles Dodgers. Offensively, we have the best offense in the National League again. Our pitching has been much better than it was at the beginning of the season. We are 4th in runs against, 4th in starters ERA, 6th in bullpen ERA, 3rd in strikeouts, 2nd in zone rating, 10th in defensive efficiency. So we could be a little better defensively. And that's been played out. You know, you look at Arias, who's taken a bit of a step back. Ramirez isn't quite as good as he was previously. Luke Lido's playing sort of out of position out in right field, although he's getting better. The zone rating or the efficiency is certainly getting better. So that's nice to see. So let's take another gander at our pitching. Jim Denny, 12-5. He continues to sit up at the top. He's got a sub-3 ERA on the year. Tanner Brubacher has pitched much better this past month, I think. Yeah, 3-2 with a 2.70 ERA. 36 2/3 in those 6 innings. So he's pitched well. Glasnow continues to do his thing. Leiter has been up and down this year, but he's putting up about an ERA of 4, although we signed him to this contract prior to last season, and I still think it's a pretty good deal, 5, 8, 11, 13, 15. I still think it's a pretty good deal given what he is. If his movement drops at all, it becomes a concern with him being a fly ball pitcher, so that's something we have to take into account, especially where we have Sademon Parker and we have... Chad Horn in the minors waiting to come up. Something could happen there with Leiter. We've talked about Patino. I would love to bring him back. I think he'll probably opt out of his contract. I would, and that's what he's asking for. And if he opts out, we'll offer him the qualifying offer and see if we can recoup a draft pick for him. Ben Guess has been fine. ERA sub 4. He's been good. If not, a little inconsistent, but good. Fairbanks has been pretty good since coming over to us. He's only had, I think, 2 games where he's given up runs. Yeah, this one here and then this one here. So he's pitched 15 games. He's only given up runs in 2 of them for us. So that's nice to see. He's been clean. Mason Wynn's done a pretty good job as our closer. A 2.16 ERA, 192 opponent batting average, 2.22 ERA plus. Camerata, ERA is up to 4.50 with us, which isn't great. Parker has only pitched once since coming back up out of the bullpen. Bello, again, better than what we gave up. Applegate, Lido, and Johnson are all meh. But we don't have anybody who's been a negative WAR pitcher, which is positive. And those FIPs aren't terrible. We don't have a single FIP that's over 4.6, and that's Carson Applegate, who I don't want pitching that much. So offensively... I mean, we literally just went through this, but Wozniak, Ramirez, and Castro are all 6.5 WAR players through August. Castro had a really, really good month, especially power-wise, I think. I felt like he had home run like every other game. Well, he only hit 4, but I guess he's hit 8 home runs in the last 2 months. I mean, the last 2 months have been what I've wanted out of him. Plus 300 batting average, OPS of around 880. Yeah, he's been great. He's been really well worth what we paid him this year, for sure. $25 million for a 7 WAR player. Yeah, I'll take it. Luke Lido's put up a 3 WAR in only 86 starts. The average has slipped a little bit, but he's still getting on base a ton. Hitting really well. I mean, I'm not going to complain about this at all. Drew Romo, again, power's back. That's nice to see. Drew Jones, power isn't really there this year, or it's sort of disappeared, I should say. 1 home run in August, 2 in July, gets 7 in June. August was a rough month for him. But as long as he plays well defensively, I don't care. Jonathan India struggled with the bat, but again, he's not playing too much, but he's a nice right-handed bat to have in the lineup. Arias is likely done at the end of this season. Langley doing everything you could want as backup catcher. Sal Stewart, 26 doubles on the year now in just 60 games. So the gap power is certainly there. We'd just like to see the home run power come along a little bit more. Veen, average up to 240. Still on pace for 20 home runs and almost 90 knocked in. So it's absolutely going to be a down season. But if he has a hot September, I mean, he could end up 260 with 25 home runs and 90 RBIs. So I mean, even a down season for Zach Veen would be really, really good. And frankly, I wouldn't mind a down season from him because it would keep his ARB number down a little bit. Connor Falefa's done a nice job as a backup infielder. His ratings have been really good everywhere except for shortstop. So if we did bring him back next year, it would likely be as a second baseman. And then we would move Castro over to short. And then Chris B, again, we're just trying to get through the season with him because of his hit tool. I want him to spend time in the minor leagues working on his corner outfield defense, but we have him mispositioned as a backup center fielder this year. Front office, revenue per game is almost where it was previously because of the way we've played over the last couple of months. We don't have a lot of money for extensions. We don't have a lot of people we want to sign to extensions right now. Foley comes off the books next year. India comes off the books next year. Fairbanks comes off the books next year. Arias will either trade him or non-tender him because I'm not going to pay him $9.5 million. Romo will get a salary bump. Langley wants 5.5, so yeah, he's probably gone. Brubacher gets a nice jump, but he's worth it. And that's really... Sam Wozniak wants $10 million, and he's worth every damn penny of it. So we'll have a little bit of money. Some of these contracts are going to be gone. We are going to pick up Glasnow's option. And I think the last thing we have to do is call a couple people up. Yeah, we have 26 out of 28, so we'll call up Chad Horn. And we will call up another pitcher, I think. Do we want to give Carter Smith another shot at it here? Just one more shot? Or do we want to call up Jordan Walker and see if he can provide some pop? Yeah, let's call up Jordan Walker and see if he can provide some pop against lefties as a pinch hitter. Because that's something we don't have a lot of. So we'll have... Walker and Arias as our two main pinch hitters. Let's set him as a middle reliever, and let's set Parker as a middle reliever as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just for the sake of the season, we'll set him as middle relievers. All right, so what else do we want to look at? We'll take a look at the standings really quickly because we are closing in on an hour, and I would like to keep this at about an hour. So yeah, I will be going live Sunday night, and we will sim through September, and we will get into the postseason, and we'll hopefully continue the postseason, and it won't be a one-game postseason like last year. Standings, the Jacksonville Maulers are 82-57. They were one of our first expansion teams. The Orioles are in second. The Tigers lead the AL Central 1 game ahead of the Indians. The Mariners are 3 games up on the Angels. In the National League, the Marlins lead the East, 3-game lead over the Braves, who have suffered, I believe they've suffered injuries. Or is that in my other playthrough? No, they've suffered injuries. Freddie Freeman is out. Christian Pash is out. Austin Riley. They've got some pitchers who are out. So they might bounce back. They might not. The Brewers and the Cardinals are tied for the lead in the NL Central. And then you've got the Dodgers, who are 102-37 with a 16-game lead over the 86-53 Colorado Rockies. Second best record in baseball. Second best record in the NL West. So once again, we are likely to have to play the wild card game to advance in the postseason when a team that we have 10 or 12 games on in the standings we'll get that bye from that one-game playoff. Sam Wozniak, second in the NL in hitting, first in home runs, first in RBIs. He is, if Pash slips in September or stays hurt and he drops off the list here, we could be looking at a potential triple crown for Sam Wozniak if he can keep up this run here into September. So we'll keep our fingers crossed there. Wozniak and Ramirez are 1-3 in OPS, 2-3 in WAR. We don't have anybody on the pitcher side of things, but I'm happy with our pitching staff. I feel like we've done, even if we never win a World Series, I feel like we've shown that you can have a solid pitching staff in Coors if you do it the right way. You look for high movement, ground ball, power pitchers, and you let the chips fall where they may. So once again, guys, drop a like on the video, drop a subscribe on the GM Games channel here on YouTube. Head over to their Discord, which I'm assuming they're going to link below. Follow them over there. There's a lot of great content, all sorts of games, mostly from Wolverine Studios, but kind of all over the place, and talk about all sorts of stuff. So, and then drop me a follow at Around the World Sports. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central for the live stream. Talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.